Now to some disturbing new figures about allegations of rape in the ACT. Over a period of 6 months, 75 alleged incidents were reported to police, but so far just 4 people have been charged. It's been described as a monumental failure of the Territory's justice system. Clare Sibthorpe carried out this special investigation and joins us now from City Police Station. Clare, what's been the reaction?
Well, Dan, support services and victim advocates say the figures are a horrific indication of how the justice system is monumentally failing victims. Now, 40 of the 75 cases are ongoing investigations, but police acknowledge that the fact they've only got 4 people to court is concerning. They've cited many reasons for this, such as the extremely high bar of evidence and the fact that a lot of victims don't want to formally report, that they don't report early enough, and that some pull out from investigations. But support services say the reasons why victims are withdrawing so often is because they're told that court processes can take several years, that they'll be subjected to difficult and extremely traumatising cross-examination after already going through a traumatising police process. And at the end of it, they might not even see justice anyway. In fact, they're unlikely to. Today, I've had victims come forward and share their personal struggles with me, showing that these issues are very real. And they're issues that the ACT's Victims of Crime Commissioner Heidi Yates earlier echoed.
There is no question that the criminal justice system is letting down sexual assault victims. By extension, we are letting down the Canberra community, given the risk that offenders place to every vulnerable person and indeed every person in the Canberra community. We must do better.
So Clare, what needs to change?
Well, the Commissioner has called for a witness intermediary scheme, which is basically where an independent officer helps facilitate communication between victims and with police and the courts, just to make it easier for those who are vulnerable to make sure that they're giving as credible evidence as possible, all while ensuring the defendant still has a fair right to trial. Now, Christina Stanford from the Canberra Rape Crisis Centre said she wants to see some reform in consent law. She wants more onus put on the perpetrator to prove that there was consent, rather than just the victim proving that they were rather than the onus put on the victim to prove that they were assaulted. Now, there was recently a push for that reform in the ACT, but that's been set aside for now. And the third point that keeps coming up is wider cultural change. First, starting with more education in schools, just around what really constitutes consent, and also tackling victim blaming. Christina Stanford said that everyone can play a part in spreading the message that victims are never to blame for assaults, that they should never feel it's their fault, and they should never feel ashamed in coming forward. The ACT government says it's taken serious steps in each of these measures, being the witness intermediary scheme, looking at consent reform and community education. Dan.
Clare Sibthorpe reporting from City Police Station.